when I was on an adventure, I accidentally got swept up into a pilgrimage down in Mexico during Holy Week.
Okay.
It was completely undeliberate on my part. I just happened to be in a place. I reached out, my travel buddy and I, we reached out to the local church, Catholic church, and said, "Hey, like we're just looking for a place to bed down for the night. We're going to keep traveling. You know, we consider ourselves travelers." Then he's like, "Oh, you must be joining for the pilgrimage. You can go sleep with the other pilgrims." And so I was like, so we ended up befriending one of the families there. They're like, "Yeah, we're going to be waking up at like a dark hour of the morning, way before sunrise. We're going to start this trek to the holy site with flashlights. Do you have good flashlights? You know, are you ready to go?" So we ended up like pushing our bikes with this family, and they knew all of the old paths, you know, in and around all the old farms and around the hills. And they take us to the holy site where there was a miracle working icon of the
Mm,
Virgin of Guadalupe. And so it was just like at the time, it completely blew me away.
mm.
And I was right at the precipice of like modern ideas of adventure and travel and thrill seeking, documenting yourself on GoPros. And like we have professional travelers now. And then like this old ancient world of getting swept up into like this pilgrimage where similar to you is like multi-generational. It was like the grandpa was there, the dad was leading, he had his whole family, they're all on foot, and it was like
Mm.
many days just to get to this holy site. And so I'm just wondering, like, just all of your expertise with, you know, distinguishing patterns and understanding the, you know, universal history and ancient world, like what would you say is the difference between modern concepts of adventure and more ancient ones of pilgrimage?
I mean, they're very different, obviously. So, a pilgrimage, in some ways, is it's a physical enactment of a spiritual journey. So, you basically what you're saying is, I want to get closer to God. I want to get closer to, I have this problem that I hope God could answer a question for me or a prayer for me. And so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to physically enact the movement of going towards a holy place. You could say so that also this is something that'll happen within me. Like there'll be a connection between me, like walking towards this holy place, becoming more and more aware of it, becoming more and more aware of the importance of that which is transcendent, of God's place in my life. So it's all this conjunction of things together to make it more real in your life by engaging it, directly, like you said. Like if you spend a week walking towards something, it's going to become important. I don't know what to tell you, right?
Right, right.
There's no way around that, because you're going to spend all this effort, all this energy, moving towards your destination. And if that destination is one which is related to your faith and to the most important things, then that's what's going to happen. It's going to make those important things more vivid to you, more present to you, more part of your life. And so I think that that's a way for modern people to understand pilgrimage and the importance of pilgrimage.
Yeah, and almost like I see people engaging with, you know, adventure, almost like a low resolution pilgrimage. You know, like the patterns are there. It's like
Yeah.
they book a year in advance to go to Yosemite, let's say, and to go see the one of the most beautiful valleys in the world. And you know, so there is intention. There's components of what you said, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
People let's save up for like years to go to Disneyland.
oh yeah,
And so it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
these are real things. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to Disney or whatever, or to going to all these places. It's just about hierarchy, right? It's just about what is it that you're going to spend a lot of time putting effort into. And so I think definitely a pilgrimage. We also went to Jerusalem last year.
mm,
It was obviously for work. Part was for work with Daily Wire, but there was a pilgrimage aspect to it. Um, and I definitely recommend it to anyone.
mm,
Just sometimes it can be little things. Like here, it's interesting. Here near where I am, there's a native reservation, and a long time ago, the priest of the area built on this little mount. They built a way of the cross on the mount, and so it's actually these little stone huts with like carvings inside them. with like
Mm.
these like low these relief carvings of different stations of the cross. And and people used to go there as a pilgrimage. Now it's become like a state, like a provincial park or whatever. But they're
Mm.
still there, these carvings. They're
Wow.
actually redone by a carver that was one of my teachers a while ago. But you can go there. Like my wife, she goes there all the time, and she goes there. Sometimes she goes there every day, and she just goes up,
Mm.
and she just takes a little moment, like not much. She takes a little moment, when she walks past the stations of the cross, to kind of just stop and meditate and to remember.
Mm.
And for her, it really is a transformative thing that she's participating in. It really is very deeply part of her spiritual life. And so there are little things you can do that are enacting what's important to you. It
Mm.
doesn't have to be going to Jerusalem or going to Mount Athos, um, but yeah, sometimes there are little versions of that.
Mm. I wonder, like you mentioned memory. How does that play out in the the practice of pilgrimage?
Well, usually when you're going to pilgrimage, you're going to a place that is important in the past,
Mm.
that or at least connecting you to something in the past, something related to origin or to, like when you're going to Jerusalem, obviously you're going to the place where Christ lived. And so, it is a form of active memory, like
Mm.
walking on the same paths, going to the same places, ritually participating is a form of active memory.